You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to our Sunroom studio. I'm Ron.
I'm Terry.
And we're excited that you have joined us. And I have, you know what, Terry, I was going to mention this earlier when we were eating. There's just a little surprise. I want to thank everyone that's tuned in. We've reached 500 downloads.
Oh, good.
Yes, we have. And we want to thank everybody that tunes in. And, you know, listen, I think we would both agree this isn't brain surgery that we're doing here. We're just two people talking. And I have, you know, a lot of the shows that we do, there's times where I leave after we're done and we edit. And I think, boy, that really sucked. But, and I really feel good about this because I really structured this a little bit better. So I'm thinking, okay, I got this structured. Now how this goes.
Get better at this. Huh?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be a little more, have more of a flow, you know? Okay. So here's the agenda.
We get off topic a lot.
Yeah, we do, but that's okay. That's okay. That's what it's supposed to be. Now here is the agenda that we'd like to start with. But first, we want to thank, Terry and I both want to thank everybody that tunes in. We really, really do appreciate that. And here is the agenda for today. Now, before I start, let me say hello and welcome to my beautiful co-host and my wife, Terry.
Thank you.
So now a lot of people were probably thinking, oh, what did he do wrong? He really buttered her up there for a second. But no, you know what? Not yet. But, so anything new in your world?
Nope.
Nothing. Boy, you're just full of, well, you have been on, I do want to compliment you because we haven't, I don't know if we talked about it last week, but this diet you're on, I got to be honest with you.
I've lost inches. Not a lot of weight, but I've lost inches.
Yeah, but the thing I was going to say is, you know how they always talk about you don't want to be on a diet when, you know, like the holidays.
Oh, and I've had every holiday, Penn's birthday, everything.
But I think summer is just as hard because we have a pool, and we're going to be talking about this. We have a pool, and when you have a pool, we had
people stop by to swim. Then
right.
They bring pizza, or they order pizza,
right.
or they order hoagies,
goodies.
or they
goodies are easy to bring.
or they bring them with them because they feel like that way they're
we appreciate
kind of paying us for the pool usage, and I don't mind having people here almost every single day just because we put the money into it. Yep. Someone ought to use it. I'm happy someone uses it, especially when they have kids. Like Ian comes over and.
Well, with the price of this new liner, we're going to want people over here.
Yeah.
Every day. We have a lot. The pool's okay. We got some rips, but they're in places where it's not.
Did you ever get the glue?
No, I have. I got to do that. Well, I won't have a car tomorrow. But anyway, so we're going to talk about that. But here's what's on the agenda today. Okay. Now, we've talked about retirement. You want to retire. Now, I don't know why you couldn't come up with these ideas. There's a young lady. She's a reality star, and she was on 90 Day Fiancé. And she come up with two business ideas. The first one, she was making $50,000 a week. That's the first one. The second one, now that one put her in the hospital, and I'll tell you what she was doing. And then the second one, she made another. Now she's got another business that she's doing, and wait till you hear. And I don't know why you can't come up with these ideas. But that's one.
I've come up with a few.
Well, these are very simple, really. If you think about what she's doing and making this kind of money is ridiculous. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about Mountain Dew has got some really strange flavors. They're bringing out, I think either this month or, let me see here. I think it's June. There's an Outpost down in Tennessee. Oh, it begins this weekend. Alexis's birthday, June 4th. But what I want to talk about is the flavors that they are trying to see if this is something you think. We're not Mountain Dew drinkers anyway.
I used to like it when I was younger. I don't drink much pop anymore.
Well, I'll tell you something else I'd like to do on a future podcast.
It puts a lot of inches of crunch your waist.
Yeah, I couldn't get that Oreo cookie
cracker
that was mixed. I couldn't. It was sold out. I thought we should try that.
Yeah.
When you're off, we'll have to actually do a thing here. It's an Oreo cookie, half an Oreo cookie and half a Ritz cracker with peanut butter all squished together. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. So we're going to talk about Mountain Dew. Then we're going to finish up the first segment with a shortage that movie theaters are having. So when you go to the movie theaters...
So they're having shortages too. It's just not cupcakes and chicken.
Right. It's funny you said that, because I'm going to say that. Now, a lot of people
don't think there's cupcakes. There's cake mix on the shelf. So why is there cupcakes?
Well, when you say shortage in a movie theater, a lot of people would say, yeah, a shortage of bad movies. There's no good movies, I should say. Shortage of good movies. But actually, Maverick, Top Gun, I guess, is really good. It beat all the records in Memorial Day and whatever. But when you go to the movie theater, there is going to be a shortage. We'll tell you what that is. And then that's our first segment. That should end up, we'll see how that goes. I don't know if we'll get to all of it because it's hard to say. But then our second segment, I want to talk about pros and cons of having a pool. And solar cover, worth it, not worth it. Talk about that. And there was something
Depends on how much of a pansy your wife is.
Well, no. I mean, you like the pool very warm. We'll talk about that too.
Unless it's really hot outside.
We've had it up around 90.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's several stories to go with the pool, because there's another story we'll hit on too in the second segment about a couple that bought a house and it had a pool, and we'll get into that with the neighbors. And then we're going to finish up with a couple stories, a wild story about a sheep that is going to jail, literally. That's at the end. And then finally, we'll end up the show with some very wild warning labels that apparently they think we are really stupid.
You should work where I am. A lot of people really are.
Well, you probably shouldn't say that if people are listening to our show.
This is true, but
but you already said it now.
And then sometimes the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what we're going to do on today's show. We got lots to get to, so why don't we just go ahead and just dig right on in, okay? So we'll start with Terry wanting to retire. Wanting to retire. And some of the reasons she wants to retire is because we have a grandson and she'd like to watch him, and that, they were having trouble finding a nanny, and then they found a nanny, and then the nanny gets COVID, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so Terry, I don't understand why you can't think of these ideas to make money.
Okay. Give them to me.
All right.
Throw them at me.
This is a TikToker, and her name is, let me see if I can, she's a reality star. Her name is Stephanie Matto. She's 31 years old. She was in 90 Day Fiancé. Okay. And she had a business idea. She thought this was going to just blow people away. So what she would do is she would fart in a jar, and people would pay money for her flatulence.
That is so gross.
Well, it might be gross, but she's making $50,000 a week. She's making $1,000 a jar. Okay, now the problem is she was farting so much and trying to make herself fart, it actually caused her to have a heart attack. So she kind of had a fart attack, sort of. So she went to the hospital. She was she had a lot of tests. She was having chest pains. She thought she was having a heart attack. She did a battery of tests, blood work, and they told her that it was a result of her steady diet and gas-inducing beans and eggs. So, I mean, think about this now, Terry. $50,000 a week, all you got to do is fart in a jar. So your overhead is just the jars.
Who would pay $1,000 for a fart in a jar? I just don't understand.
Well, she's also making money on, she has a one of the websites, not, it's not OnlyFans.
I don't know anyone crazy enough to pay that kind of money for a fart in a jar. Do you?
Unfiltered. It's an X-rated subscription site called Unfiltered. She's on that too.
Oh, well,
but that's different. No, the jar. This $50,000 was on the farts alone. That was a separate business.
Well, $1,000 a jar. You only need to sell 50, and you got $50,000, hon.
Well, just telling you, that's what she's making on her farts. Of course, she had to stop that business because she had a fart attack. So, what would be the natural thing to go into business? Now, you can't fart anymore in a jar because it causes you all kinds of problems. So now she comes up with another business idea, And this one is she sells her boob sweat.
That is so gross.
Yeah, she's selling her boob sweat.
She's pretty gross.
Now she was a fart entrepreneur, but now she's a sweat entrepreneur. She's made a full recovery as far as her farting. That's good.
So now she's trying to catch her boob sweat in jars.
Yeah, now she's getting boob sweat. She says that
I think baby food size jars.
She said for just 15 minutes with she lounges by the garden in her pool. She gets her perspiration going, and then she fills about 10 bottles of sweat in just about a day, and then she sells them for $500 a pop. So if
Why would you want to buy someone's sweat?
I don't know, Terry. There's some that's what I'm saying. You are missing out on some brilliant ideas.
Gross.
You need to have your boob sweat or your farts, and you could be sitting pretty. Well, other than the farting. These are brilliant ideas she's taking advantage. Listen, she might be smarter than you think, because she's very pretty. I should have had a picture. She's a very pretty girl, and she said she has a great pair of breasts, which I mean they look pretty good from what I could see. This is a bikini anyway. So she said she's like, so you can smell the sweat, you can lick the sweat. Fans like to get really close, and they're paying $500 a pop for her boob sweat. Now you need to tell me you can't think of an idea like this so you could retire.
That doesn't sound
This is perfect. It doesn't. I mean, the farting thing, you have to be, pretty careful. You don't want to have a fart attack in the middle of it. But the boob sweat is simple. I mean, you could sit by the pool and have boob sweat. I'm sweating out right now. Maybe I should start like an underarm type thing where I sell my underarm sweat. What do you think?
I think it's gross.
Oh, all right. Well, then these are ideas though that you should be running with. You don't have any other. I mean, look at this. They're making a fortune off of stupid people. They are. Mm-hmm. She's taking advantage.
Stupid rich people, obviously.
I don't know if they're rich. They might not be rich.
They pay $1,000 or $500 for something like that, then they're.
I don't know, Terry. I just think that you are missing out on some great opportunities.
Okay.
Here, you could be farting. I mean, it's not like we don't fart every day. Catch it in a jar and sell it. Maybe we could sell it on the when we had the.
You need to sell it to the highest bidder.
When they did that, like a yard sale, Terry's boob sweat, $10 a bottle. We'll even go cheap. No,
I don't think so.
All right. I'm just trying to help you out. This is a way for you to retire even sooner. Boob sweat and farts. All right, I guess that's not going to happen. You got to admit that she's pretty ingenious when you think about what she's doing. I mean, she's making a fortune. She makes more in a week than I'm making a year on farts and sweat. Something we do every day.
Well, get your beans out.
Oh, you like ball sweat? You think they would pay for ball sweat?
They probably would if it was the right guy.
Oh, it'd have to be like Fabio.
And if you had
Fabio.
And if you had a picture of it, on the internet.
What are you getting at? Now you need a pair of.
Hey, you put the extras with it, and they'll pay more.
I don't think So I'd have to put my balls on there too, to say this is where you got the sweat from. Sweaty balls.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, maybe that's made for me to retire.
Maybe that's what she puts a picture of her boobs on the outside of those jars.
Well, I don't know. She has that website, but it's mostly like bikinis, string bikinis and stuff. So they can dream about it as they're smelling her boob sweat or her farts, depending on what they purchased. Yeah, that too.
That's what they're doing.
Okay. Well, I don't know. That was kind of hot, you doing that. I can't believe you did that. Good thing we don't have cameras.
I know. I probably wouldn't have done it if I was on
You'd never live that one down.
I know, because my kids would never let me live it down.
I can't even.
You can't get composed.
No, I got to get composed now after that one. I'm sweating now just thinking about it. I'm going to have to take these headphones off. I can't believe you did that. All right. Well, anyway. You can only imagine what she's done. But anyway, That's it, folks. If you're looking for brilliant ideas, farts in jars and sweats in jars, boob sweat too, and maybe some sweaty balls. We'll throw those in there too. I'm sure guys should be taking
notes on this.
Taking notes and making all this extra money. All right, let's move on from that because obviously Terry has you don't have any ideas. Like maybe you could have elbow sweat. What is this? Like in between.
Nothing gross like that.
No. Okay. I'm just trying to help you out because a little extra money could go a long way. All right. Mountain Dew has announced some new flavors. And they're interesting flavors, I think. There's pickle flavored.
Yuck.
Mountain Dew. They're testing that. Citrus soda.
That might be like
it's like a take on the citrus soda, the pickle.
Orange. Okay.
The pickle flavor. It's like that. They're also coming out with sour sweet. It's a compliment to Southern barbecue. And they're also testing apple cinnamon, s'mores, elderberry, huckleberry, and summer pop flavors. I don't know exactly. Is that like banana? I don't know. Would that be like a summer pop flavor?
That's your favorite popsicle.
And they're going to be down at this outpost in Tennessee if you want to go on vacation. It's this weekend, but if you want to try these different, I don't know. It doesn't say anything about a place where you could actually get them online, but I'm not sure about. It
would be nice to go taste test them and then you could rate them. Which ones would you buy? Which ones you wouldn't touch? I
wish we could get our hands on some of these. I think it would be interesting just to try them.
Right on air. Yeah.
Yeah, because. I'm not sure I would, the pickle, I like pickles. It depends on the pickle.
I like pickles, but I don't know if I want them bubbly.
Yeah, I don't know.
And if it has an aftertaste, is the aftertaste really nasty? Or, you know what I mean? You'd have to try that one.
I think so. And what do you think? Sour sweet, it says.
Like we like sweet and sour dressing.
Southern
like
barbecue.
That.
See, I just don't know.
Southern barbecue, like sweet and sour barbecue sauce. I don't know if I could put barbecue in a pop, though.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know you like barbecue chips.
Like honey barbecue chips, which is sweet.
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Is Southern a little more?
I think a little more spicy.
A little tangy.
Mm-hmm.
Think that okay. Apple cinnamon might not be bad.
Apple cinnamon sounds good, even in a pop, I think, because you think of apple juice. Like if you had club soda with apple juice in it.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of cinnamon, I think that could be good. Like apple and spice.
Yeah, s'mores seem like it might be a little...
s'mores kind of...
sweet.
It sounds like it might be more like on your... what's it that Zachary likes? Cream soda type.
Oh, okay.
S'mores could be more like a cream soda with a little bit of tint of graham cracker and chocolate.
Wasn't your dad a big cream soda? Didn't he like that?
Yes, he liked cream soda.
Yeah, your dad liked cream soda.
He would buy the Faygo cream soda.
That's what it was, Faygo. Yeah, that was a big... he liked that. I know he had those in the fridge. Elderberry? Mountain Dew?
I don't know what elderberry.
What is elderberry?
Cobblers. When I lived out in Claysville with a neighbor with Florence, I used to go elderberry picking with her, and then we make elderberry cobbler and stuff. And elderberries are pretty good.
I know, but what is it like? Is it an off-brand of blueberry? What is it?
Yeah,
what kind of a taste?
It's not as sweet as blueberries, but not as tart as raspberries.
What about a huckleberry? You ever had a huckleberry? I don't know what that is either.
Can't remember.
Never had it. Dingleberry, but not a huckleberry.
I don't remember what the huckleberry. I don't think I cared for the huckleberry.
I don't know what I don't think I've ever had a huckleberry. But apple cinnamon, I think we might be able to get through that. I'm trying to remember if I like cream soda. I don't know if I've even tried it, to be honest with you.
It's okay. Zachary had some here the other day.
Did he?
Remember, he was putting those.
Oh, he was putting ice cream, which I didn't have. He doesn't care
for root beer, so he was putting ice cream sandwiches in a cream soda for floats.
He didn't take the chocolate off of it.
I know, he's goofy, and I'll get up.
I said, take the chocolate, the
chocolate off the ice cream sandwich and eat the chocolate and put the ice cream in the pop.
The ice cream sandwich is like, it's not a dough, but it's,
Yeah, it's
you take that off, just put, cookie, yeah. But he put the whole thing in, and he didn't like it anyway, I don't think.
And made it very sweet with a little bit of chocolate zip to it from the cookie.
Oh, you tried it?
From the cookie, yeah. I just tasted it.
Okay, so
it was very sweet. It was too sweet, but I haven't been eating sugar.
If you're in the Tennessee area, then you're going to want to maybe beginning June 4th, take the official Dew Mountain recreation area, and they'll maybe at some point we'll be able to try these flavors. I would like to try them on air.
That would
maybe we can get
that would be good.
Maybe we could get that, and we could do that. And the other thing I wanted to do, and we did not get a chance to do, we didn't cut any onions. There was a trick where if you're cutting onions and you cry,
yes.
and then you take, there's a
paper
hack.
towel.
And you take a paper towel and you hold it close to the onion and you cut the onion. We'll have to try that
the next picnic, or maybe on the air at some point this summer.
That, and then I want to try the Oreo and the peanut butter. We might make our own. I mean, what's the big deal? We'll just make our own and try it that way. We'll have just a whole food. Maybe that'll be the next one.
Thing,
a food type thing where we'll try different
weird
oddball with things that maybe we've never tried or is brand new.
Yeah.
We'll do like flavors. I always wanted to do one where, because I always find it funny that people think water, like different waters taste different.
Like spring water and well water. But they do if you put them side by side.
Well,
I think we
should try that. Because I've tried different, like there's a Nestle, there's different.
Oh, you mean like bottled water?
Bottled water.
I think all the bottled water, if it stays in the bottle too long, it tastes like plastic to me.
Well, I mean, I've never had any issue with, but I don't drink a lot of, I pour it out into a cup. So I don't really drink much from a bottle. I guess it depends on where I'm at. But yeah, those are some things I'd like to try because I've always had people say, well, this water tastes different than this water. So I'm always interested, like trying it myself. Is that really a thing? Would I be able to tell like this water from this water? I don't know, but that's something I'd like to do. And then we'll do that too. Okay. So we'll have to do a foodie. I think we just come up with the next podcast. It's something to do with food. Maybe we'll have Zach try these different things too, if we can get him on.
If you can get them all over here, you could probably have a very fun one.
We'd get them all the kids. I know we keep talking about it, but we just haven't been able to do it.
Nathan would tell you exactly what he thinks of it.
Yeah. Well, he's cooking now.
Yeah.
Chef Nathan. I should have him on about all these different foods that he makes for Alexis, who is, she has to eat certain foods, certain autoimmune. And so he makes all this. He made a cake, a gluten-free, said he made it for her birthday.
Allergy-free cake, yeah.
So we have to talk to him about how he's become quite the chef, for sure. All right, so next up, kind of on the food. If you're going to the movie theater, I just saw this story. Actually, was it this morning? I think I did it on my radio show on FM7 The Drive, which you can get on Live 365 or tune in, and we're on a lot of different apps. But I did this on the show earlier because I saw this and I thought they were talking about Top Gun Maverick, which is, beating all the records. It was just huge for Tom Cruise. And I heard the movie is very good too. But apparently they're having a hard time with popcorn. There is a popcorn shortage.
Oh, wow.
We talked about, we tried to get cupcakes and they said there was a shortage of cupcakes. Then we tried, what was that, chicken? Because we haven't been able to find that frozen wings chicken. Haven't been able to do that. And now it's popcorn. It said that the popcorn supply is going to be tight. And not just the popcorn, but also the paper bags that they serve it to you also. They're having there's a short supply of those to add to that. So they're coming up now.
Is it because all these places closed during COVID?
I don't
know.
So now
it's just now hitting us.
I have no idea. So what they're trying to do is come up with like some memorabilia. So they're going to have like metal or plastic containers, obviously sold at higher prices. And that would be cost up front. And they're trying to find something to put the popcorn in, but then they're also having trouble finding popcorn. They said, if I can find the... It says, as for the popcorn, it's trying to convince farmers to create enough corn rather than switching to or sticking with a different, potentially more lucrative crop like soybeans. So a lot of farmers are going to where they can make money and not
the soy's in everything diet.
I know. You're not allowed to have any.
If you're allergic to soy, you're screwed.
Yeah, you're not allowed to have any soy.
I've been having a little bit.
The popcorn problem is coming soon if it's not already. And more people are going to theaters because we just saw where Top Gun beat. I mean, they're 100 million. They just the records were just breaking left and right. So people are wanting to go see good movies. And Jurassic World, I believe, is also coming out. Oh, Jurassic World Dominion is another blockbuster coming out this month in June. So if you might have to sneak in some food if you can't find the popcorn. There is something good. There is a good movie theaters do have
good popcorn.
When you walk in, you can smell. Remember when Hills a long time ago? You'd walk into Hills, you could just smell the popcorn. It was so good. And you know who else has really good smelling popcorn is not Tractor Supply, the other one, Rural King. Rural King makes popcorn in there. We used to do that at the store, Talkie's Video.
Oh, yeah, you could smell it when you come in.
Yes, and it smelled so good. What are you doing?
Something big.
You all right? Something bit you. So we got a spider here in the studio that bit you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, just be forewarned. You might need to, empty your purse, put some goodies in there, especially popcorn if you're into the pop. Maybe buy the bags and have it pop before you go, and that way you'll have some popcorn. So that is some of the things that we're short of, as if that's not the only thing. You got gas prices going to maybe reaching $6 a gallon by the end of summer. So we might be putting a lot of money in gas going to Nag's Head this year, and plus our air conditioning went. So who knows how much that's going to cost? Because you can't have no air conditioning down in Nag's. You got to have
when you're going to the beach. You need the air conditioning.
Got to have it.
It went out one year on the way too, and we ended up driving home at night. It was the only safe way to play it because it was by the time we got there, it had quit on the way there, and we had left wee hours of the morning, so the morning wasn't so bad, but by the time we got down to the beach, we were dying, and then we couldn't even, we had to stop at a restaurant or something to get cooled off, then you had to go back into the car to drive the rest of the way.
Well, what was I think even worse is that when we went to the beach, you couldn't leave your car open.
No, so you park your car, and then you had to walk from the beach and get into an even hotter car and drive back to the condo. And it was bad.
And even the air, it didn't matter because the air was 90. So hot air was blowing on you anyway. It wasn't like it was cool.
So we'd roll down our windows and drive to the condo and run into the air conditioning.
Oh, it was, yeah. Hopefully they fix it.
I hope they can.
I mean, whatever it is, I think they're going to try and just fill it up, but I think it might be more than that. Just fix it, but that's my truck is older than your car. My air conditioner works in the truck, but my truck's 13 years old. And I was talking about, and someone heard our podcast, and I was telling I'd like to find a truck, but I just can't get what I want right now. So we're going to wait. Maybe prices will drop, but I doubt it.
They'll probably go up.
Probably go up.
$20,000.
Yeah. All right, let's end this segment on this last. I'm going to ask you a question. What do you think the cost is of being in a wedding party? They did a survey, and they found the cost to be a bridesmaid or a groomsman is about how much money?
At least $500.
That's a pretty good guess. $825.
I'd say at least, it depending on how fancy the gown is. Then if you have to travel to the wedding and stay in a hotel while you're there, gas or travel or a plane ticket. I mean, it
Of the people they surveyed, 50% of the people they surveyed incurred debt to participate in a wedding party. And I believe it, because like you said, it all comes down to...
Unless they did ours.
Yeah, well, ours was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, 1985.
And I got the dresses after the prom dresses were on sale. The girls didn't have to spend very much. I
No.
found it one, I really like them. Do they have 3 in these sizes? And they, they didn't have to spend a lot on their dresses or anything.
Yeah, $825 if you want to be a groomsman. If you're going to be in a wedding, get ready because it could cost you. And like you said, it just depends on the person. That if it's a bridezilla, you could be in trouble. Or just don't look at them or make any eye contact and just be invited. Although some weddings now, we talked about this on another podcast where they were charging for you to eat.
Out of the country. Well, they charge
you talk about
for guests. Yeah, didn't they charge for guests?
You found that one. We didn't talk about that one. They were bringing guests in from other countries, right? Inviting other.
Yeah, so that they would learn your culture and stuff, and they pay to be there. So they would pay like they were at a classy restaurant, and you would bring them to their wedding. Yeah, like it.
So you'd put the invite on social media?
I don't know exactly
you were the one
how
who
they're
read this.
doing. Yeah, but the thing about it is, if you've got a couple paying $100, say $200 to come to your wedding, then that kind of can offset some of your prices. From if you had 2 or 3 tables of that paying that. Just to see an American wedding, and what the traditions are over here and stuff.
But they were paying their way to get here.
Yeah, but they were already going to be there. And it was Indian couples. It was in India that people like us would pay.
Oh, to go over there.
To go to an India. And it is, to me, it's a good idea. Like if you were over there already, what more would show the culture than a wedding?
Oh, yeah, right.
You'd learn the culture, the different foods that they serve at weddings and stuff like that.
Right.
Like in this area, but I think Americans are different because some areas have the cookie tables, a lot of cookie tables, and other areas really
they don't even know what a
into
cookie
that.
table is.
Like, you go, across the country and you're like, well, where's your cookie table? What do you mean?
Right.
That's not around here. But around here, everyone has that cookie table,
Oh, you got to have the cookie table. At one wedding we went to, it was cookie table. Then they had like a cheese and crackers. Remember the one wedding? Oh, I was filling up on that.
One they had crab cakes.
Yeah.
And they had like all kinds of stuff.
It was good. It was probably
it was like
a lot of money.
Appetizers, cookies, everything was on that.
It was great.
That table. But it was nice while they stayed and took pictures. We had lots of snacks to keep us. Not like sometimes it seems like you're waiting for 3 hours when you're waiting an hour for them to come from the pictures. And they kept us well fed while we were waiting.
All right. So when we come back, we're going to talk about pros and cons of pulls. We also going to talk about a sheep that's going to jail and some warning labels. And we're also going to talk about a friend that sued for an injury they got from the pull. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back. So you want to start a podcast, maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun, and I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. And it is a lot of fun, just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes. And they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website. All you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players. And you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter. And they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. Welcome back. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
We're still here.
Yep.
And thank you for sticking around. I was thinking about this, about pools, pros and cons of pools. I think of a pool a little bit like a truck. When you have a truck and people see you have a truck and they don't have a truck,
can you carry?
Can you haul this?
Can you get me?
Can you haul that?
Mm-hmm.
So with a pool, when it's warm, hey, they got a pool. Let's go there. And that's fine. I mean, so, my wife just has to cover up. You have to tell us ahead of time because I make her wear a thong. She's like, nobody wants to see that. I do. It's fun. Not for you. It's fun for me. Makes it engaging. Anyway, so pros and cons of a pool. Now, the cons would be the upkeep. Now, we have a saltwater pool. It's not too bad, although the chemicals cost me a little bit more than I was hoping for this year. But now we're looking at a liner that could be anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000. But once you do that, then, it's almost like we had 12 years out of this liner. So, I mean, that's pretty good. And the upkeep would be a con. A lot of people just don't want to be bothered.
Well, the robot makes it a lot easier.
Oh, the cleaning. Oh, absolutely. You throw that baby in and you can still do what you want to do. And I did not want to buy that thing, but it was by far the best thing we ever bought. It cleans, and it cleans it. I mean, we put it in early morning, and by the time we get home.
And when we have a picnic, we throw it in while we're setting up. When we're done setting up, it's done.
It's done. Clean it up, done, put it away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an hour, but it cleans better because it takes almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
It cleans, and it goes it's almost like that robot used for the.
It goes slower.
It goes slower. Yes, it does. Because we want to be in a hurry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are some of the pros. I mean, I said more cons did I say more cons than pros? The pros is just having a pool, sunshine, friends over. Yeah. Especially kids.
To do.
When you have kids over and the kids come over, they really enjoy it. And our kids being in it Memorial Day was great because last Memorial Day, we were all huddled around
a
fire because it was so cold.
Making s'mores,
yeah. We didn't have enough fire pits because everybody was freezing. This year was much different, and when they're in the pool, it makes you feel like, okay, it's like complete because everybody's using it.
And the baby loved the pool.
Oh yeah, Fenn loved it. He loved getting in there. He didn't like the prep getting to that.
He did not like getting sunscreen on in that shirt over his
Oh,
head.
he did not like that at all. All the sunscreen that you had. You got to protect him. But boy, once he got in, he was fine.
Oh, he splashed.
Yeah, he was doing great. Now, let's say there's a story here about a couple that bought a house, and it just happened to have a pool. And this was on, what was this story? The neighbor is enraged because the woman that bought the house doesn't allow their kids to use the pool. But here's what was happening. What was happening was her and her partner bought this house, and it had a pool, and they were finding that the neighbor kids were jumping the fence, and they'd be in the pool. So they'd come home from work, and they'd be in the pool.
With no one watching them.
No one watching. And so she spoke to the parents about the issue, because she said the issue is our next door neighbors, I keep finding their kids in our pool, hopping the fence, and I have to get them to leave. So she spoke to the parents about the issue, and they told her that the elderly couple that had the house,
that's probably why they sold it,
let the kids swim.
Yeah, but maybe they were down there with them so they weren't drowning in their pool.
Now, in exchange
if you're at work, you can't be watching them.
Well, they were saying they were cleaning the pool. The kids would clean the pool, vacuum, whatever, in exchange for
swimming privileges.
But that's not the point. The point is,
you can't swim just kids in the pool with no supervision. Someone bangs their head, someone gets hurt.
So then she says to them, well, that's fine that was the last neighbor did that. But she says, I'm not comfortable. We don't know you well enough. Plus, if the kids got hurt,
right,
they'd feel terrible about it. Not to mention, if they got hurt in your pool, more than likely,
you might sue
they might get sued because there was no
adult supervision.
So then the parents get back and said, well, the kids won't get hurt. It'll be okay. And the kids, it's just getting hotter now, and they want so they're not getting it. She's like, no, you don't understand.
They can't get in my pool when I'm not home because no one's watching.
Right. They were jumping the fence to get into the pool. So obviously that is a con and very unfair to the person that bought the house because, again, and that's where I'm going to tell you about this, a jury that awarded $19 million in damages to a Vandergrift man. This is right here in Pennsylvania. He was left paralyzed because he had an accident in a friend's pool. Now, apparently,
he did something dumb in the pool.
Oh, right? Yeah, he did because they were jumping. It said here, well, they found the owner of the pool negligent, but he broke his neck because he was trying to dive into a raft in the family swimming pool. Now, I don't know exactly. They said something about either there was something not on the raft itself, like saying don't dive. Or I'm not sure if they even had.
But all of them don't. It depends on how deep the water is. I mean, if you know that it's shallow water, then you shouldn't be diving onto the raft in that part of the pool.
They said it was a 5-foot rubber raft that should not have been in the pool. Now, again, it doesn't say. Again, well, the thing of it is, so you got to have signage. We have no trespassing. Probably need another one for this side. Now that this story's come out, I'm like, really, it's scary because you just don't know.
We used to dive through like inner tubes and stuff in my mom's 4.5 foot pool.
You're crazy.
Which is too low, but we were young. I was.
Yeah, but you can still break your neck.
Well, I would just dive shallow, but everyone can't do that, and everyone doesn't know how to judge that. And like, I would never tell my kids it was okay to do that, but every time I came up to the bathroom, we had one that did a flip off the top railing into 3 feet. And could have hurt himself.
It's interesting that they, like I said, $19 million, $9 million in damages to pay for past and future medical expenses, $3 million for pain and suffering, $3 million for loss of life's pleasures because he is paralyzed. But I think you have to know the rules. You have to, maybe they didn't, obviously you don't want to think the worst. Nobody wants to think the worst. You want to have fun.
Well, if I came home from work and there's kids in my pool with no adult with them, like we have certain friends that we would say, come, but they would pull the cover off.
Yeah.
Swim with the cover on.
Right,
they would do it the way we allow them, and their parent would be sitting there with them.
Right.
And if they were just going to drop them off and let them, there would be no way. I would say no. That's not
it's just too risky. It's way too risky, and you don't know.
Especially you get a group of boys that are going to roughhouse. You don't know if they're going to play chicken and smack their head or whatever. You have to have adult around to settle them down.
Oh, I mean, if rafts, well, it just happened with a raft. This is an adult. He's 29 years old, and he broke his neck trying to dive on this raft, or not sure exactly how it happened, but it happened, and now their insurance is going to have to
pay for it.
Come up and pay for it, yeah. So, I don't know. That's got me, it makes you start thinking.
I mean, all our kids knew they were not allowed to go down there alone. They weren't even allowed when they were younger on the deck with no one else on the deck.
I mean, you can't, you want to have fun and this and that, but you've got to know, you got to have rules. You got to set the rules. Now, we have a deep end in our pool, but our pool before that was an above ground, and it wasn't even 4 foot because we had to dig it out because it wasn't put in right. And it was like 3.5.
It was 3.5 at one end and 4.5 to 5 at the other.
It wasn't
that
quite
was because
like that,
it had a big chunk that had.
Yeah, it had some chunks taken out. The pool itself was level, but I didn't dig out the entire middle because it wasn't the landscaper or whoever.
Yeah,
didn't do it right.
They didn't do a very good job. We had to take it down and put it back up. And,
so anyway, they and we and this above ground pool, so it was a very high wall because we were on a hill, and we'd catch Nathan on the top of the fence trying to dive in. I mean, you just got to watch. You got to be there. It's just too risky. But anyway, that's the con of having a pool, and you're going to have to, shut things down. Now we're going to do an obvious. This is like Captain Obvious. A survey shows 86% of parents believe swimming lessons are the best way to protect a child from drowning. That's obvious. All our kids learn to swim by having a pool.
And I took the older ones to swimming lessons.
And you took them to lessons, exactly. And it's still even scary for me when they're in the ocean.
I don't think Zachary ever had them, but he just took them at school.
He had them at school.
He had swimming at school, but they all had swimming at school. But the older two, we went a couple summers to Sunset or wherever and took swimming with their cousins and some friends. So,
on a lighter note, we had to get a solar cover because ours was just
falling apart.
I mean, just withering away to nothing.
When you pull it off the pool, it rips.
Oh man, you just try to be real careful, and and then the little bubbles are
coming off.
They don't last as long as they say they do. They just don't.
No.
So anyway, do solar covers really work? Yes.
It does seem to hold the warm water in. Like once we warm it up and put that solar cover, it seems to stay warm.
That to me, it has worked. Now we have a heater, but even before the heater, we had solar covers, and it always seemed to make a difference. And I don't know if it had something to do with having a better solar cover rather than a cheaper solar cover. I don't know if that. I got a little bit better one this time.
They both
worked.
Though.
But did one last a little longer than the other?
Yeah,
I'm not really sure. But anyway, solar covers, yes or no?
I like my solar. I like them. I like it just because, like the first weekend that's really cold and you heat it up, then you put that solar cover on, and it's never that freezing cold again. Even if we don't ever heat it again, and we have a bad rainy weekend, the next warm day, I can at least get into it,
They have this liquid solar, but it doesn't actually add heat to the pool because the bubbles, it collects that sun.
And then it puts...
And it starts... And I think that's helped us. We don't use the heater as much because once we heat it, the solar cover goes on and it seems to keep temperature. I think, if I'm not mistaken... It also helps
with some of the evaporation out of it, too, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that when we had heated it to 87. That's the Terry temp, around 87, 88. Now I turned the heater off, solar cover on, it kept it around 85. And
which I can still get in.
Kids were in and out. So it was perfect. So as far as we're concerned, solar cover, yay. We'll take it.
I like
okay, let's finish things up with a sheep that's going to jail. And this is a bizarre murder case. This happened to be a murder. A sheep in South Sudan has been arrested. Hold on, and sentenced to jail for 3 years because it was found guilty of killing a woman. The ram was taken into police custody after it attacked a 45-year-old woman. Police say the ram had headbutted the victim repeatedly, breaking her ribs. She died immediately because of her injuries. Police said the owner of the ram is innocent, and the animal is the one who perpetrated the crime, so it deserves to be arrested. So a sheep is going to jail.
Why was it out? Was she in its pen or was it out?
That it doesn't say. It doesn't say because, I was thinking about that.
Because if it was out, then it is the owner's.
Just like a dog.
Just like a dog.
Just like a dog.
They say, hey, your dog ate whatever, and I'm,
but I don't know
they
how
call the pound on them.
I don't know how the sheep, I don't know if she was in.
But like some dogs are really smart and can get out on their own. Maybe the sheep can lift the gate like our dog can.
It doesn't say.
We got a dog that lifts the gate.
Yeah, Rigby.
He lifts the.
Yeah.
All he has to do is watch you a few times, and he knows how to get out of there.
I thought that was weird that the owner wasn't cited at all. So I don't know what it said. The animal is the one who perpetrated the crime. Well, it's true.
Well, but
we don't
when
know.
He gets out, if he had a thumb, he'd still be getting out with that little. We have to put a clip through the gate to hold the lever down.
But if Rigby was to get away, then we would be liable if he bit somebody.
Right. But the thing about it is, we've done everything we can. We put clips in the gate. We do, that he can't get out. So,
yeah, I don't know.
Would it be his fault because he still got out somehow?
Is the jail, is this jail for the sheep, is he in the regular, it doesn't say whether he's in the regular jail with other criminals, or he could be a tough one in jail. He might never make it in jail if you think about it.
Well, he
might have to go to a special jail
all.
because, he may be having to keep them all away, if you know what I mean. The sheep. Anyway, so that's that story. And finally, with this, wild warning labels. Apparently, some companies think we're dumb, and maybe we are. Here is one. Never use while sleeping. This is a warning label on an electric razor for men. Yeah, so you don't want to use an electric razor.
Sleepwalk, maybe when you sleep shave. And how would you know? You didn't wake up to find out.
Just until you hear the noise, the razor going, the electric razor. Never use this product while driving. That warning label is on a laptop steering wheel desk. Laptop steering wheel desk. Do they have that?
Well, if you have a laptop steering wheel desk, then why?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. If you're making a steering wheel desk on a laptop,
why would you even make such a thing? Because it's for your car.
Is it
why
because
would you make it?
Maybe because maybe they're thinking you pull over, right, and you go into like a rest stop, and then you have but you don't. Well, whatever.
Yeah,
that's on there. Keep product away from infants and children. Now, this is a warning label on a neck pillow produced and marketed for kids. So they're making it for the kids, but you got to keep it away from them.
That makes
sense.
They want pillow. Adult supervision. It should say adult supervision while
it's a neck pillow. How bad could it be? Probably one of those ones that have the.
Yeah, but I guess if you turned it around wrong or something, then their head could be all lopsided in there.
This is a good one. This is another warning label. Remove child before folding. Any idea what that could be?
Some kind of seat cover or some kind of.
This is a warning label on a baby stroller. Mm-hmm. So you always want to take the baby out of the stroller
before you fold
it up. I was also thinking playpen.
Yeah.
Take baby out of playpen before you fold it up.
Mm-hmm.
Harmful if swallowed. This is a warning label on a brass fishing lure with a 3-pronged hook. Boy, that would hurt. That would hurt if you swallowed a fishing lure with a 3-pronged hook. And finally, this product moves when used. That is a warning on a children's scooter. That's a very good product. That's a great warning label. This product moves on a children's scooter. That's, you know what? That's if it's left in the middle of the bedroom and it's dark and you don't see it and you step on it and boom, you're gone. And that is that. We'll have to see if there's any other warning labels that maybe we think are goofy. So that ends it up. That's it. We did it. We finished everything. We talked about farts in jars and sweaty boobs, sweaty balls. We have a sheep going to jail, warning labels, pools that you got to be careful. Solar covers are good. How much it costs to be in a wedding party, which is expensive. We just covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we did.
And that went fast. Went really fast. I want to thank you for listening. And also, do not forget, I always forget sometimes to do this. Do not forget to subscribe to our podcast or hit the like button. We'd really appreciate that too. And you'll get warnings too, that we're going to have a new episode every Monday. So you'll get the alarm. It will go off and say, hey, new episode. I get them on my phone because I wanted to see if it actually worked. And it does. It says, hey, new episode has arrived. And you can find us on all kinds of podcasting apps. We're on the most popular, which is Apple Podcast. And then we're on Google. Spotify is another popular one. But we're on all kinds. So if you like a certain type of app for your podcast, look us up. And we appreciate that. Also, you can check out our website, which is Just Talking Out Loud. We also have a Twitter and a Facebook page. So hook us up. I mean, tell us something that maybe you'd like to have us talk about, and we'll do that too. We appreciate you all listening, and thank you very much. It's your turn.
Have a blessed week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.